Joseph named his firstborn Manasseh and said, "It is because God has made me forget all my trouble and all my father's household." Kids do make you forget. It was amazing to me how quickly my wife and I forgot what life was like before kids. And we'd get little reminders. Grandma would take the kids for a day, and suddenly we would decide that we would go do something, and moments later, be doing it. Suddenly we only had to tie our own shoes. Suddenly we were only in charge of our own potty breaks. Kids make you forget what autonomy feels like. But that grass isn't always greener, because kids make you forget the lonely boredom of that autonomy. Suddenly I could decide we were doing something, use the potty, tie my shoes, and go do it, and I would be taking pictures of everything we saw and did and ate and why to show the kids. Because without them around, suddenly I remembered that I really miss them when they aren't around. When his first son was born, Joseph named him Manasseh and said it was because he was happy to forget. So far had he come from the suffering imposed on him by the jealousy of his older brothers, so far that he had a son who would help him forget. The grass had gotten so green that he forgot the old grass on the other side. Manasseh was a huge part of that. And when Manasseh was still just a kid, Joseph's father, Jacob, announced that he and his brother Ephraim would be counted among their uncles as sons of Jacob. Usually in the tribal numbering, they replaced Levi, the tribe of priests and temple workers, and Joseph, their father. Kids make people forget you. It was amazing to me how quickly my wife and I became nothing more than our kids' parents as far as other people were concerned. When my brother, who only kind of looks like me, was visiting my church, one of my members had a whole conversation with my kid in his arms before they even realized that it wasn't me holding the kid. When your kids are around, you're no longer the most interesting thing about you to most people. Sometimes you're not even an interesting thing at all. Kids make people forget you. And I personally find that grass pretty green, too. I don't know if Joseph was like me, but if he was, he would have beamed to hear that his dad would be largely ignoring him in order to shower affection on his kids. Joseph would have looked with pride and a little gratitude on Manasseh and Ephraim for taking a place among his brothers, a place that they had denied him, even though it's all he ever wanted. And Manasseh and Ephraim got it just by being Grandpa's grandkids. If Joseph was anything like me, he'd have been glad to be forgotten because of the very reason for his own happy forgetting. But we don't remember Manasseh. We know nothing of what he said or did. All we know is the names of some of his kids and the tribe that bears his name and that has also largely been lost to history. That doesn't seem like what Jacob wanted. He blessed them that day and said, "In your name will Israel pronounce this blessing. May God make you like Ephraim and Manasseh." Seems like Jacob wanted people to remember them and to want the blessings God gave them for themselves and for each other. And God did bless them, just not in ways that we really remember. So if I say the blessing Jacob hoped people would say, but maybe they forgot, if I pronounce upon you the blessing, "May God make you like Ephraim and Manasseh," here's what I mean. May God bless you in ways that make you forget your troubles. And may God trouble you in ways that make you remember your blessings. And may you be remembered for what's worth remembering about you by those to whom you are a blessing. And may you be forgotten for everything else, especially by those to whom you've been trouble. May you be God's kid. Because of his Son, may God claim you as his own and remember you while forgetting your sin. And may your autonomy and your boredom and your kids and your life be blessed until you get to the greenest grass of eternal blessings and the blessedest forgetting of troubles. May God make you like Ephraim and Manasseh, forgetful as you are, whether you're memorable or not. You're a reminder of what he's done. You and I are dust and breath, loved by God, bought by Jesus. This podcast is written and produced by me, Ethan Cherney, a Wells pastor serving Bethel Lutheran Church of Manasseh, Wisconsin. Get in touch on Facebook at Dust and Breath Pod, on Twitter at Dust Breath Pod, or by emailing dustandbreathpod@gmail.com. Outro music arranged and performed by Mr. Peter Shawy, who is like dew on the grass. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you could leave a review in iTunes or just share an episode on social media, I'd really appreciate it. It's the only way other people can find the show. Now, go do what God made you to do. Be who God called you to be. Go see what God can do with dust and breath and faith in Jesus, his Son.